while you look away from me.
Hey, and welcome to the Clothing Lounge. We're here at London Collection Men's Autumn/Winter 16. We're going to be interviewing some up-and-coming designers, getting to know all the latest gossip on their collection. Let's head on inside. So, what inspired this collection?
Okay, well, we're a brand new British luxury brand. We wanted to come out there all guns blazing. We just wanted to make the best cashmere hoodies and outerwear jackets out there, basically. Well, Elvira Baruki, my creative director and partner, she designs the menswear. Her experience is mostly in women's wear, but we've done both. And for her first foray into menswear, I don't think she's done too bad. Well, I saw how much people are willing to pay for luxury goods, and I thought we could do it better. So not only are we using the same materials, we're using gold, diamonds, they're all certified. I have an amazing team of embroiderers. They make the Queen's Royal Guards uniforms. They've done Kate Middleton's wedding dress. We've got the best collection of young upcoming UK talent, and we're the platform and the label to showcase that. So this fabric is, excuse the balloon, the finest cashmere available. We spared no expense. I mean, even our zip pulls are solid gold with certified diamonds.
Wow.
We spared no expense, and we put everything into our materials, so the customer gets absolute value for money.
What would you say your favourite piece in this collection is?
I like the long green one. They're completely customizable, as I mentioned. So mine might be in the wine colour, and yeah, I just like it. It's a little bit of a different take, and even the pockets are thoughtfully positioned, because you cross over your hand into that pocket, and you cross over your hand into that pocket. There's lots of little.
Follow me down to the dance floor where we can be.
I've always been interested in fashion. Like, I'm probably just like I'm fascinated by people. I've always like watching people, how they react to clothing, like what makes sense to people, and with just love of being creative, I've always wanted to do something that's creative yet relevant to people. Most difficult part is getting men to be more adventurous. That men have habits and they like what they like, and when they find brands that they like, they'll stick with it, and so they build habits. But for me, that's like a lot of the fun. Like I try and get guys to be more creative and enjoy themselves, and I feel like as long as you've got great fit, great fabrics in a way that makes sense, then you can be creative. Biggest lesson is that a designer is not all about being creative. It is about being a businesswoman as well. You know, it's about not just doing something fabulous. It's about making it relevant, understanding your market, understanding society, understanding how expensive things are, about understanding the fashion calendar. So it's like doing a collection is like a very small fraction of that. You've got to be aware of everything all the time, and keeps it fun.
Cool. If you could describe your collection in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Well, this collection is my glitch collection, so I'm going to have to throw in glitch, sporty, and jarring. My favourite piece, I mean, I'm proud of a lot of the pieces, but I think my favourite is going to be my 3.5 metre long scarf over here. So that's a crazy, I feel like I'm proud of it because it embodies what the collection's about. It's glitchy. I've looked at white noise. I was weaving with flecky yarns to pick up on white noise from the collection. I looked at traditional Aran cabling, like you get on Aran jumpers, but I wanted the cabling to get distorted in a way that was broken and weird and non-symmetrical. So the cabling changes as it goes through. It kind of warps off, comes back in, gets regular, irregular, and then you've got this flash of red going through, which I wanted to have this kind of jarring, weird colour that kind of trips out, and when it's worn you get this line going around the head.
Okay. Hey, so I'm here with Clara Martin, the designer of this beautiful and bright collection. So Clara, how did you get into fashion in the first place?
I first got in after studying and I graduated in 2013. My mum and grandma were both designers, so it's kind of hereditary. They both did women's wear though. My mum did a little bit of menswear. My house is very creative. They always speculate and criticise and comment on clothes. So it's kind of, this collection in particular was inspired by just boyhood, adolescence. A lot of my friends are kind of in that stage of, you know, starting to become responsible, maybe a little bit reluctant to. I've got a network of people that I always consult, so it's kind of based on what I see, London culture. London's really streetwear right now, so it kind of relates to that. It's really easy to wear, it's really hard and difficult to break, but I think the most important advice would be to know your market, do your market research, know who you're designing for, keep it concise, kind of easy to read and get into.
Okay, cool. If you could describe your collection in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Probably be luxury, contemporary, colourful.
Perfect. That was really good. And what's the biggest lesson you've learned since designing?
Probably to know my market is the biggest one. I think it's quite easy for people to start designing what they like, and it's not necessarily what your market will like. And it's just really important to have your research down and know what's up.
Cool. What are you fascinated by at the moment, and how would you say it feeds into your collection and your work as a whole?
I am really fascinated by Japanese culture. I took a recent trip to Tokyo in September, and my first time in Asia.
Really?
So it blew my mind. It was fantastic. Super colourful, super organised. Transit, everything's organised, but beautiful. It was really, really cool.
Wicked. Would you say that it's more difficult designing for men? And if so, what are some of the difficulties that you face?
I find it quite easy to design for men. I feel like men find it easier maybe to shop. They kind of know more about what they like, and what they feel comfortable wearing. So the men I know are pretty straight shooters, so they'll let me know if something's good or not.
And if there was one really monumental moment in your career that stands out to you so far, what would it be?
Probably be Years and Years, wearing my outfit on the top of the pops at Christmas.
Wow.
That made my Christmas. That was pretty big.
That was madness. That is something to be proud about.
Mister, we gave it all, catching my stars as they fall.
So what made you get into fashion in the first place?
I mean, I've been into fashion sort of like most of my teenage years and stuff, but mainly what sort of pushed me towards doing what I do now was you know, more the sense of like believing in my own creativity and you know, trying to push that as more than anything else really. So mainly sort of like youth subcultures were sort of the main inspiration. So you know, taking from different you know, subcultures in terms of, you know, skaters or, you know, trendsetters or, you know, just general cool kids. Sort of like just believe in yourself really, and carry on pushing, you know, day in, day out. And really, it's just more about pushing and just believing in yourself, and then, you know, the rest kind of just follows. So
I see. Nice. How would you describe your collection in 3 words? Yeah, it's a difficult one, I know.
Gritty, sports, and luxury.
Okay, nice. What are you fascinated by at the moment, and how would you say that feeds into your work?
I'm fascinated probably more of what's coming out of London in terms of fashion, in terms of casual wear. You know, so the collection's something designed around that to basically, you know, give the footwear market in that sort of same, you know, casual wear sort of market. You know, give them an option of footwear, which I think was missing.
I see.
Follow me down to the dance floor where we can be free tonight. We'll make mistakes, we'll take them on till the dawn rise, then it's over. Mister, can you see all those stars that would shine for me.
So if you could describe your collection in 3 words, what would those words be?
I think raw, millennial, and ecological. Yeah, that's the 3 words. Yeah, raw because we try to respond quickly and with no filters to our social environment is something really big for us, and ecological because we are vegan since forever. Yeah,
Wow.
and we try to use materials that are non-related to animals. Fake leather, fake velvet. Actually, the whole collection is a fake leather and fake velvet. But
Okay, nice.
and millennial because 2010 was a big thing for us. The music scene in Oporto is something really big. When I was younger, what really interested me about fashion and was the whole universe about a brand because I always followed Raf Simons.
Yeah.
And Raf Simons has a whole vibe about him. It's not about the clothes, but all the clothes, but about the things surrounding it, and it's a really interesting thing. So for me, that's what I want to recreate, like a niche or a whole vibe around it, a universe. Our social environment, it's a really big thing for us. We try to reuse our daily basis. People we see at a station, at a metro, at a bus,
Yeah.
and not fashion people, but common people like
Yes.
young kids or maybe old people, and try to see what's working and what's not. So yeah, that's the really thing.
Yesterday was almost a tragedy. Love with no return could have made me another one of life's casualties. The only thing I gain from you is a picture.
So what inspired this collection?
Oh, this collection is inspired by Belgian and Dutch paintings, a work of Eric van Eyck and a couple of others, and also a bit of workwear really, but inspired by dungarees and stuff, kind of typical workwear, and also a bit of tribe from my background called Agomba, but I was inspired by their dance and also some colors from that, matches the work of the Dutch painters, so kind of meshing together. Basically, I couldn't find what I really wanted to wear because there is like mostly traditional stuff and very pretty basic stuff. So I thought, yeah, why not just try doing something? But also, my sister is already in she's a seamstress, so it was easy for me to pick up, how to maybe make my own stuff. So I started from there, really making stuff.
Very cool. And what would you say the biggest lesson you have learned since becoming a designer is?
Well, to be honest, I didn't expect it to be. It's good to after studies you're not told to what the business part is.
Yes.
That's what I found really challenging to try to balance both. It's tough, but so far so good. It's been so, and I like the fact that I work with instead of print. I love texture. I love to create my kind of print with fabric texture. From a distance you see is maybe as a flat pattern, but when you come closer you see that work that goes into it.
Every day with you is so sweet. Moments, seconds, hours have formed into days. The closer I get.
So what inspired this collection for you?
For this collection, I get inspired from a dance I watch in Shadowless Well called Sutra, and then it's telling about 17 monks, from China during the show, and then kind of I think the meaning in the show, I get the idea is about people, we are all living in a boxy, society that's, we got so many rules, but how can we protect ourselves? I found out I want to be a fashion designer since I was 12, and I was inspired by Tom Ford. By that time I was like, wow, he can make woman look so amazingly beautiful. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something I would want to do as well, but for me.
Yes. Nice. That's a really cool story. And what's the biggest lesson that you've learned since becoming a designer?
I think since I started doing my label, the most difficult thing is how to get my ideas transform onto the garment, and the marketing side and then the social media side is the most difficult things to me. Yeah, but lucky enough that I've learned quite a lot over the last year.
Seconds, hours have formed in today.
So Hugo attended fashion design school, and then he always had an acquired taste for streetwear. So definitely we have key elements of the streetwear in our pieces, in our collections. So it started a little bit from there, and then it progressed to what we have right now.
I see, nice. And who or what inspired this collection for Hugo, do you think?
This collection was a little bit inspired by what I would call, well, we got into Nietzsche, so he spoke Zarathustra.
Yeah.
So in this book, there's 3 stages of mutation.
Yeah.
And throughout our collections, we kind of feel that we are going into stage plans of maturity. So what is happening is that we now know essentially what are our key elements, and we are maturing into a process of transformation of what we are, and trying to build a main image for the brand.
I see, very nice. What is Hugo fascinated by at the moment, and how would you say that feeds into his work and his collection?
Well, there's a kind of a funny story involved with it. Okay. Our hometown is a hometown that has a lot of tradition into the manufacturing of shoes, sneakers, and hats. Okay. So all our generations, especially our ancestors, have always had a care for shoes and hats, and this kind of tradition is in our blood, is in our roots. So it started a little bit by that, because we grew in a place called Saint John of Wood, or São João da Madeira in Portuguese, and this kind of organic relationship with all the shoe manufacturers, with all the production procedures, with everything that is involved with the classic garments that we use, everything is 100% Portuguese and is embedded in our bloodstream.
And if you could choose your favorite piece from this collection and just describe it to us, what one would it be?
I would have to say...
I thought you were going to choose that. Oh, that's been catching my eye.
Well,
wow.
Okay. I would have to choose the bomber. There's 3 key elements in our collection. I should say bombers, sweaters, and shoes, sneakers. And the transformation of this bomber was really important because it's a compromise in the maturity of our collection. It shows development, it shows functionality, it shows design, and at the same time, it's still a Hugo Costa bomber.
Yes.
Put your back into it. I know you can do it. Let me see.